Let's have a conversation about points, miles, airlines, and credit cards. In today's convo, I want to explain to you everything you need to know about those concepts. Don't go anywhere. You're going to love today's conversation. I guarantee it. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of the Awesome Sweaty Show. How are you today? I hope you are doing fantastic. I'm doing marvelous. If you were to ask me, if you are doing as great as I am, go grab a cup of coffee or tea or vodka and let's roll. In today's conversation, I want to talk to you about, I want to give you a guide to points, miles, airlines, and credit cards. It's very important to understand that when we talk about all these concepts, points, miles, airline, and credit cards, people automatically think about rewards, but there is a strategy you need to think about before even starting accumulating miles, points, and all this kind of cashback or travel related rewards. It's very important. The first thing you need to keep in mind is that using a debit card has no points, and the pun here is intended. By using a debit card, you are spending money and not getting anything back in return. That's what it is. So when you use a credit card, every time you pay for shopping online, eating out, groceries, toiletries, what you name it, you are earning valuable points and miles you can use on your next vacation. That's the bottom line here. Not to mention that you'll have access to valuable benefits to like purchase protection and those all important built-in coverages like trip delay and trip cancellation insurance. Now you might be telling me in this current environment with the COVID, you're not traveling much, but you know what? COVID is just temporary, all right? So it's very important to use your credit card. And you want to pay your credit card bills. I'm not asking you to overspend here. I'm not asking you to increase your credit card limits or to increase your balance due and not pay back your balances. You need to pay them, okay? We still need to adhere to financial discipline rules. We need to use our card responsibly, but we also need to use our cards. You need to use it if you want to earn travel rewards, whether as points or miles or cashback. You need to understand that. So this is for the basics. Number two, let's talk about points and miles. What are points and miles? So simply put, points and miles are a type of currency. So you earn them every time you take a trip or make a purchase on a rewards credit card and can later use them for free travel. That's what it is. And the industries of credit cards, airlines, and hotels are closely intertwined. And the entire point of the whole hobby industry is to use those currencies to travel the world, right? Here is how it breaks down in its simplest form. Very simple. I'm oversimplifying something here. Using airline miles for airline tickets. So if you have United miles, for example, you can use those miles for flights with United and its various partners. Using hotel points for hotel stays. So similarly, if you have Marriott points, you can use those earnings for free nights at the dozens of brands under the Marriott umbrella. Using credit card points directly for travel. So this varies by credit card issuer, but most credit card programs allow some type of direct redemption of these points via an online portal. So generally speaking, you either pay for your flights or hotels using your points instead of paying cash, okay? Or you can swap your card and then redeem points or miles to effectively erase the purchase from your statement. And the thing is, once you get to the advanced level, you can use more complex. It really depends on your situation or your family situation, but your family's situation, you can use more complicated strategies to get even more out of your points or miles, okay? Let me give you an example. Many credit card programs allow you to transfer your points to partners and then redeem them for award flights or hotel stays, right? So by doing so, you will often pay a fraction of the price for the flight or hotel than you would with cash, especially when redeeming your points or miles for luxury flights or hotels. This is kind of cool, right? And in the industry, those are called transferable points, and they are key components in the points and miles world. Do you get that? So money, 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 money. So when you think about that, I want you to think about this strategy of transferring points, of playing around with points, or miles or points, this kind of stuff. It's very important. You save a lot of cash going forward. One thing I want to say here is that when we talk about the major player in this industry, where you have airlines, you have hotels, and you have credit cards. You have, for example, some of the major airlines. You have Alaska Airlines. They do have a program, the American Airlines. And for American Airlines, you have the American Airlines Advantage Miles. You have Delta Sky Miles. You have JetBlue True Blue points. You have Southwest Rapid Rewards points. United Mileage Plus miles, okay? And there are some major hotel points currencies. You have Hilton Honors points, IHT Rewards Club points, Marriott Bonvoy points, Walter Hyatt points, Wyndham Rewards points. And last but not definitely the least, here are the credit card currencies. So you have the American Express Membership Rewards points. So this is a fancy way of saying Amex points, all right? You have the Bank of America Premium Rewards points, the Barclay Card Arrival Miles, the Capital One Miles, the Chase Ultimate Rewards points. So this is again a very fancy way of saying Chase points, and the Citi Thank You Rewards points, a fancy way of saying Citi points. So there are of course many more, but these are some of the most popular US-based points and miles currencies that should be on your radar if your strategy is to play the game, okay? This is something you need to keep in mind. You also need to be very strategic in terms of your points and miles balances. Let's talk about credit cards. So I've talked to you about the points and miles. I have talked to you about the basics. Now let's talk about the credit cards. Credit cards must be in your wallet. For you to actually play in this game, miles and rewards and points, you need to use a credit card. The whole fun of having a credit card is to earn points and miles, and to use the money you spend normally on everyday purchases to add value to your life or to your family's life, okay? And there are tons of credit cards out there, and it can be hard to figure out the best one for you. So let me just say this: credit card, credit card, credit card. The key here is to choose a rewards card based on your travel needs and spending habits. Very important. Let me just repeat that. The key element here is to choose a rewards credit card based on your travel needs and spending habits. Do you mostly travel to Africa, to Europe, to Asia, to Latin America? Then you want to pick a card that sort of fits with that pattern, with that traveling pattern. So you need to set a travel goal, such as spending a week in Paris, taking the family to Disney World, or vacationing in Acapulco. And then you want to start looking for credit cards that can help you earn the points needed to make that happen. So this is something you need to think about, okay? So here are some credit cards you might want to pay attention to if you want to accumulate points. Chase. Chase is a very popular credit card issuer and offers several great cards, especially for beginners. And we have, but please don't forget the Chase 524 rule, okay? And notable cards in the Chase catalog include the Chase Sapphire Reserve, the Chase Sapphire Preferred Card, the Chase Freedom Unlimited, and the Chase Freedom Flex. American Express, another great company of cards, and they have a lot of solid cards to choose from, as well as a great rewards program and transfer partners such as Delta, JetBlue, and Marriott. Okay, and you can consider, for instance, the Platinum Card from American Express, the American Express Gold Card, the Blue Cash Everyday Card from American Express, the Blue Cash Preferred Card from American Express, and the American Express Green Card. Capital One. You can choose the Capital One Venture Rewards Credit Card, the Capital One Saver Rewards Credit Card, and for Citi, you might consider the Citi Prestige Card, the Citi Premier Card, and the Citi Rewards Plus Card. Those are great cards you might want to consider if you're interested in really accumulating points and miles to improve just to travel, okay? I'll be right back right after this. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, folks, to another section of the Awesome Sweetie Kiwi Show. We are still having a conversation today about points, miles, airlines, and credit cards. And I want to do a little dichotomy here about facts and myths. There are facts and there are myths, all right? There are other cards you want to have in your wallet. But it's important to understand that when we talk about travel credit cards, you can actually use other credit cards that offer bonuses for different types of spending. If you're not lucky enough to have a pure play travel credit card, or pure play miles credit card, or pure play points credit card, you can get other credit cards. For example, rewards credit cards, dining credit cards, travel credit cards, Amazon credit cards, Starbucks credit cards, grocery credit cards for buying clothes, and credit cards for paying your telephone bill. There are a lot of credit cards out there, but you have to pay attention. So when we talk about credit card, there are some myths you need to be aware of, okay? It's important to be very, very clear about that. Will too many credit cards hurt your credit score? That's a question we hear a lot in the comment section when we analyze when people comment on our video. One thing I need to say here is that you need to know the components of your credit score. Your credit score has 5 elements. Your payment history, 35%. The amount of debt that you have, 30%. The length of your credit history, 15%. New credit, 10%, and credit mix, 10%. So having multiple credit cards will not impact your credit score negatively, as long as you keep your utilization rate low and pay them off in full every month. That's the key word here. You want to keep your CUR low, your credit utilization ratio. So every time you apply for a new credit card, your score does take a small 2 to 5 point hit. But that tip, based on our analysis, is temporary, and in the long run, you are likely benefit from the lower utilization rate these additional credit cards can generate. Okay, and you also need to think about the annual fee. Should you get an annual fee? Because should you get a credit card with an annual fee? Some annual fees can go all the way to $550, while some goes to $95. So you have to think about whether or not the benefits are consequential enough to offset the fee. So you also need to think about the perks versus the fee. It's really important. And one thing I also want to say here is that you can also look for a card that gives you a sign-up bonus. This is kind of cool also. Let's talk about earning points. How do you actually earn points? So we have covered the fundamentals, we've covered the basics. I've talked to you about points and miles, credit cards. I've given you some information about facts versus myths when we talk about credit cards. Now let's talk about how do you earn points and miles. Okay, sign up bonuses. So the easiest and best way to accumulate points and miles is through sign up or welcome bonuses. Okay, this is another way of saying if you spend a certain amount of money on our credit card in a certain amount of time, you will earn a certain amount of extra points. Okay, and this varies from card to card, and each card comes with pros and cons to it. A sign-up bonus is just one part of the pie. You need to analyze the whole offer catalog, if you will. Okay, so this is really important. And these fancy bonuses are your best bet to quickly earn a ton of points or miles. And you can check out you can see the credit card disclosure notes to understand whether or not they're really interesting. Besides sign-up bonuses, you have everyday spending. So you'll also earn points or miles on all of your regular expenses, anything from dining to groceries, gas, cell phone bills, you name it. So depending on the card you have, you can even earn more miles for different categories. For example, some cards offer more points when you spend on dining, and others offer more points when you spend on airfare. This is something you need to think about. Shopping portals. So taking advantage of online shopping portals might be one of your best strategy for earning points and miles, mostly because it takes about 5 seconds and you can do it from the comfort of your own couch, right? So this is kind of cool. And the thing is that with many people shopping from home more these days, this can truly earn you a ton of free points and miles for something you are going to do anyway. So this is a great strategy. And you can also earn points by buying, flying, and staying. Okay, if you're doing business directly with an airline or hotel, that's even better. You can earn miles almost every time you fly with any given airline, and you will earn hotel points by staying overnight with a participating property. Just be sure to sign up for the loyalty program first. You need to really sign up for a program so they can track your points, they can track your miles, and they can reward you appropriately at the right moment. Let's talk about another player in this equation here. We have airlines. Okay, this is important. You need to know what airlines you want to go for, and this is really cool. And one thing I want to say here is that if you want to earn points and miles while flying, you need to have the appropriate airline. Each airline has its own system of awarding you miles every time you sit down on one of their flights on a paid ticket. Okay, over time, these miles add up, and ultimately, you'll be able to use them for an award flight to the destination of your choosing. Okay, so here are the top 10 major airlines. You have Alaska Airlines, Allegiant Air, American Airlines, Delta Airlines, Frontier Airlines, Hawaiian Airlines, JetBlue, Southwest, Spirit Airlines, and United Airlines. It's really important now. You got to understand that there is a dichotomy between airlines. There is a difference between airlines. Some are known as a full service, and some are known as low-cost carriers. Okay, those names are pretty obvious. They're pretty self-explanatory. But full-service airlines, have you guessed it, full service. They typically offer different cabins to sit in, such as economy, coach, premium economy, fancy coach, if you will, business, and occasionally first class. And low-cost airlines only have economy and typically the nickel and dime you for just about everything. Okay, so if you want an example of a full-service airline, you have Delta. But when you think about Spirit, for example, they're a low-cost carrier. So having said that, the thing here is that you need to understand that it's up to you to choose the right airline, but it's also up to you to think about how you're going to use points that you accumulate on that airline. Let's talk about elite status for a second. So elite status is great if you travel frequently and thus get to enjoy the perks. Okay, think about it. But chasing elite status just to have it is generally not worth it. You will end up spending more money than you will get out of it. Okay, so the value of status depends on the airline. Really, something you need to think about. Big decision time. Big decision time. Are you thinking about earning points right now? Are you thinking about earning points and miles right now? If you are, there are several ways I want you to pay attention to. You can earn via credit card spending. You can earn via flying or hotel stays. You can earn via shopping portals and dining program. Okay, you can use your points to travel the world once you have accumulated enough points. So please think about that the next time you start your points, miles, airlines, and credit card strategy. Very important. Speaking about that, let's talk about getting started. Getting started is very important. Another decision time here, another big decision time. You have all these basics under your belt. You know exactly what to do, right? The first step is to sign up for loyalty programs that let you earn points or miles. I'm not asking you to sign up for every program under the sun, no. But I want you to sign up for the one from the airlines you fly frequently, along with the major hotel programs, okay? Airline and hotel. This is actually the duality I want you to pay attention to. Next, you need to pay attention to a few terms. Saver awards, award redemption, hotel categories. You need to understand those fundamentals when we speak about points and miles. So everything will make more sense once you start to familiarize yourself with the terminology that we are talking about here, okay? And so once you do this, you need to think about basically what airlines you want to go with. How do you need to redeem the miles? Let's say you have chosen you've chosen American Airlines or Delta or JetBlue. How to redeem miles with them? How to redeem miles with British Airways? Or once you have that, how to redeem points with a certain hotel? hotel category. But all of those decisions will have to depend on your family situation, your personal situation, your destination, trains, where do you fly to often, Europe, Africa, Latin America, Asia, okay? And the best thing to keep in mind is that a lot of times people think about just accumulating points, but you've got to think about how to use them. You got to think about making sure that those points are going to help you go to the destination you are interested in. Okay, it doesn't help if you're accumulating points and you can't go to your favorite place. So think about things all the way through, from the time when you get the credit card, to the spending you do on that credit card, to the number of points and miles that those expenditures will help you accumulate, and how you can redeem them. This is very important. And also, last but not the least, think about the hotels. What is your favorite brand, and are you able to use your loyalty program to land in your favorite brand, in your favorite hotel? Think about those. All right, folks, this is the end of today's conversation. I was talking to you about this was a beginner's guide to points, miles, airlines, and credit cards, and we were having a conversation about. I spoke to you about basics, the points and miles, the credit cards, the facts versus the myths, earning points, airlines, and how do you get started. Thank you so much for your attention. I'll speak to you another time, but until then, remember, stay marvelous.